Yeah, I'm great. How are you doing? You're still doing this? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Michael D, you own it. Well, I've been waiting to be going for years. Good morning, sir. You got your buddy Six up here.
Hi, Ken, how are you? Good. How are you, sir? Outstanding. Thanks. Now, of course. Look at this. Good to see you.
I've
been folded up there for a little while.
I was ready on time.
Oh, you're going to break that thing.
Were you a little surprised today?
Totally. Not just a little bit. Astronomically. There's no, like April said, for the first time I was speechless.
So,
Hey, Ken.
April, you were in collusion? So April had to keep the secret, huh?
She did.
For a while.
She did.
She was
She did a great. The only way I knew there was something happening is the fact that she was willing to get up at 5 o'clock and get here.
That's not usual.
I mean, that's the first ever.
Zeus.
You're good.
Bill here.
I'm going to go. You're the newlywed. Congratulations to you. You guys know this guy got married this weekend? At 5 o'clock on Tuesday morning, I asked myself that. But realistically, all the reasons that you've already heard, but I would also like to emphasize the residual. Oh, I didn't know. In case you haven't figured it out, this morning's been overwhelming.
We love you, Bill.
Come back, please. As most of you know, I'm rarely speechless. Ever. So I'm sorry, this has got to be a first. Anyway, to add to what they were saying as to why B&I, I would think one of the most important factors over the last 20 years has been the residual effect. And by that I mean you develop a lot of relationships, contact, friendships, fishing buddies, and that last long after people come and go through B&I. In the 20 years that I've been in the group, I have no idea how many hundreds have passed through this chapter. And they always leave for good, legitimate reasons, not just a whim. I think one of the best examples of the residual, if Jimmy doesn't mind, I'm going to use him. Jimmy and his father and their auto business. Is this the third time you've been in?
Yeah.
As of last week, they're back in the chapter for the third time. And there are still many of us that have continued to go to them whether they were in the chapter or not, because we knew and we know that we can count on their dependability, their honesty, their pricing structure is very reasonable, and most importantly, they're going to keep our cars running. I am an excellent example of that. The old Suburban that's not here this morning, due to things that like me. This past weekend on a trip to Bullhead to see relatives, I rode over 205,000. Wow. Now you don't do that without maintenance, and here's the guy that helped make it possible. So it's not only in 3A, but whether it's roofing, whether it's insurance, whether it's dental or financial or printing, AC, Daniel was out at the house Friday night. Got us running, saved us from burning our asses off. So I mean, it's all these things put together which goes into building a community. And sure, dollar amount's important. And in my particular business, that's a hard figure to come by. Before we started tracking gross income, I used to stand up here and say, well, okay, for the last 15 years, this chair has been worth $4 or $5 million in contract dollars. I always emphasize contract dollars, because that was a far cry from what I put in my pocket. $7 since we started tracking it, makes a whole lot of difference. It's still very, very profitable. And it's well worth the effort to get up, come here, get to know everybody, and the opportunity to educate each of us on what we do, why we do it, and how you can best help or become our sales force of 25 to 30 people. Now, I know I could go on the rest of the time, but David wants me to quit. So with that, I will quit.
Who's gonna retire, who's gonna stay longer, you or me, but it'll be a sad day when I stand up here and look at that end of the room and I don't see you. Michael D. Limousine Connection, your Valley-wide VIP ground transportation company for all your ground transportation needs, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Morning, B&I. Morning, Bill. Bill Rudd, Commercial Real Estate Broker. And this morning, I'm starting at the top of the list again, but the basis for all real estate, and that's dirt. So if you know of someone that's looking to invest on a long-term basis, or maybe they need to start a project where they have a dirt requirement, regardless of whether it's a large lot, 1 acre, or 100,000 acre ranch, doesn't make any difference, or any place in the state of Arizona, or I've been known to go to other states as well. So the broker's license, I can. So if you know of anyone that wants to buy or sell or even lease dirt, those are all excellent referrals. But whether it's dirt or whether it's medical doctor or general office or manufacturing distribution warehouse, the underlying factor is always going to be dirt. And I'm anxious to help you turn your dollars into dirt and your dirt into dollars. Thank you.
And so I wanted to, so this is one of the certificates that BNI has, and I just wanted, this is to you, everybody in this chapter signed it, and just wanted, I was gonna make it really big, but then I was like, if I make it small enough, but big enough, it'll still hang it on the wall.
Right.
I could have made it bigger. So this is for you, and then, I don't know if you've ever received one of these, but this is a 20-year ribbon that he can put onto his name tag.
That's great.
Here. We plowed down another property up in Cords Junction that Bill's been to. We burned that one. Oh, yeah. So anyhow, I look forward to working with you for another 20 years, buddy.
Well, I have 3 testimonials, obviously, again, for Bill. Not only for his leadership, he's been in every position. I realized this morning, even at one point, he held all 3 positions in this chapter at the same time, which is pretty unheard of. But mainly for being a visionary. To me, there's like 1 or 2% of the population that are true visionaries that are willing to put themselves out there at their own risk to help others. And obviously, Bill is one of those. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then 2 other ones. I've probably been to over 2,500 BNI meetings in my lifetime in 7 different states throughout this great country and 3 different countries in the world. But until today, I had never ridden to a BNI meeting in a limo. This guy's a giver. If you haven't gotten to know him, he has even donated some of his services to BNI members in the past. And you get a guard dog on the way.
Is to give Yeah, but I can give it back to you.
No, or you just lend it to the snot-nosed kid.
Right.
Or to the coach at U of A.
Yeah. Anyway, Bill and I tease each other all the time, but I gotta tell you, I don't hold it against him that he decided to go to the University of No Rose Bowls in Arizona. I don't hold it against him at all. Thank you to Bill for blazing the trail for this group. You've been a mentor to all of us, and I have learned so much from you. Just the time that you've given your presentations, the little things you say go a long way, and we all appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know if you notice where he's sitting. Based on the shape of the room, he has sat in that seat for 20 years. Here's the good egg, he sat in that seat. That was Bill's seat, and God forbid anybody should sit in it. And I just want to say I enjoyed making you nuts today, but I also want to compliment you because I've seen you grow from just a group leader a long time ago to, doing what you do now in the state of Arizona. and other areas, and you really turned into a fabulous leader for BNI, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Bill is always amazing. I have to say, when I started the chapter, I was in competition with another one I'm starting in the group. And Bill had to call and interview me, and I was so nervous. Oh, but he was so nice. So, no, Bill, you and I, we love our dance cards. And thank you for setting me up with your sister in Bullhead, because April probably wouldn't be here if I didn't know her.
Congratulations, Bill. I just wanted to say, when I first joined the group, started to network in general, I was terrified. I literally had to be like forced to come the first time I came, and then the second time I came, I realized, you know, I really wanted to join this group. And then Bill, who was intimidating, I'll bring up, you know, Nathan's way was a little intimidating first, said that he wanted to interview me. So then I was even more terrified, like Andrea. And so we met afterwards, and I just kind of talked to him, and I felt so much better about joining the group and so much more comfortable. It's a really welcoming group, and Bill's kind of a big part of that. And any questions you have, you can always ask him. And he reassured me ahead of time about my 10-minute presentation that I was scared to give also. So once you've been in the group a while, you're not as scared. But it's a great group. Thank you for...
This was always Visitors Day / Bill Rudd Day. And actually, I think it's really Bill Rudd thank you for being to Yale Church. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Nate. And hey, you guys, we managed to pull this off, so
Well
thank
done.
you.
I just want to say thank you to April, because if it wasn't for April, I would have had to pull the valve stems out of Bill's tires last night. Because the original plan was to pick him up at 6:45 and come straight here. Call April, and she was like, he usually leaves about 6:25. I'm like, oh man, we gotta start this way early. So we were there like right 6:25 sharp, and but the great thing about President was that I was able to delegate out to help put it all together. So all I did was send emails, and everybody else kind of put it together. So, and thank you again for Nate for coming here, and Bill. Thank you for 20 years. You've always been a mentor, and now I can do the one-to-one because now I won't spill the beans.
Bill, congratulations on your 20 years. All the visitors, thank you for joining us this morning. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to all of you, but thanks for being here and participating in the meeting. Sonny, congratulations on your 10 years. Nate, it was a pleasure meeting you this morning. I enjoyed riding over with you, and thanks for taking the time and being here with us today. And thank you to Michael D. for donating the ride over here this morning. I'm just suddenly wondering how much the ride home is going to cost.
Depends if you're DUI or not.
Thank God for that happy
All right. Well, let's go ahead and